Our second speaker today is Steve Myers. And as his evaluator, Bob, would you please give us his objectives?
Sure. Steve's objectives is to use voice volume, pitch, rate, and quality to reflect and add meaning and interest to his message. He's to use pauses to enhance his message and to use vocal variety smoothly and naturally. His time limit is from 5 to 7 minutes.
How can an event that has been approaching for 15 years suddenly lick you by surprise? How can an event that has been approaching for 15 years suddenly hit you by surprise? The unexpected Quinceañera, Steve Myers.
Caballeros y damas, Quinceañera, as our good Toastmaster pronounced there. Let's roll back. Debutante ball, that sounds so much more European, so much more classy, so much more grand event. Debutante ball is something we associate with days of yore, right? No one has a debutante ball. Kids just kind of grow up, they bug you, and then you bail them out of some trouble, and then you're glad they're off. Well, it's a big thing, this coming of age. It's all about the coming of age. It's not just girls, too. I'll touch on those subjects there, but this coming of age, coming out party. It did start with strong European roots there. This was a point when they socially said that this child in our family is now one of the adults in our family. And it was kind of a class thing there. We have a nice new member of our family, this young woman. And that transition between your girl and your young lady is quite a big deal. The Sweet 16 version we have here in America, it has a whole variety of things. Sometimes it's just a big party at the house, sometimes you go out to dinner with a folk, but then also sometimes it's a little more formal. And some of the items, some of the events in that are symbolic, they do date back to the older rituals here. The shoes. When the girl comes in wearing her flat shoes, flopping around like a little kid, and part of the ceremony is she is presented, the father presents her with the high heel shoe, which pumps you up, right? Gets those calves looking good, suddenly you're a woman. The tiara is another symbolic thing, and by the young girl being the recipient of the tiara, suddenly she's seen socially as a woman. The father-daughter dance. We see that in North American culture more in the wedding. It's important to have the father-daughter dance there. And it's kind of symbolically the father taking his daughter for a spin and then releasing her into her new life there. These are carried over into what we more popularly see now, although it's quite underculture, but it's called, in the Latin America, they have the Quinceañera. 15 años, 15 years. Quinceañera. It runs together there. In a quinceañera in Latin America, it's big. It's like a wedding. The girl has her dress made like a wedding dress. It's beautiful. The decorations, again, are elaborate. It's the formality is very high here. And it's like a wedding in that it's planned way ahead. Costs a lot of money. A lot of family is involved just to make this thing come together. Now, where did I get off being surprised by this? Well, my family that I married into is from Brazil. And Brazil's kind of this standoffish in the Latin America world. We're Brazilians. We don't speak Spanish. We speak Portuguese. We're a little different. So I never really had myself en route for the whole quinceañera thing, because we're white and we're middle class America, and we'll do the Sweet 16. Well, little did I know, in Brazil, where my wife and daughters are, they're spending the summer there, they also have the Festa de 15 años. This party for 15 years. So they also celebrate it. And it is commensurate with the Quinceañera. Me being no pundit, I just, okay, honey, we'll have the party. Well, okay. Well, my wife is there planning a wedding proportion of a planning and requesting wedding proportions of el dinero. I told my daughter on the phone, I said this. I said, my darling, ever since you are a baby, I rock you in my arms. I sing to you in Spanish. I even talk like this just to be funny. Oh, honey, I'm not Mexican. She has beeline, so she is into the party. There's no escape. In the course of that, the father's dance, the father also talks. And I wanted to prepare some of my thoughts here that hopefully are rehearsed now and be delivering in Portuguese down at her Quinceañera when I join them in August. Now my vocabulary in Portuguese is somewhat limited, so it'll probably sound like, hello, that's a lovely sweater. I will try my best. Memories. I have some beautiful memories of my daughter. And I'll present them as if I'm talking to my daughter. I loved you before these 15 years. I loved you when you were just an idea. When we were just trying to get pregnant. When we heard we were pregnant, I loved you then. I didn't know if you were a male, female, what your SAT scores would be. Nothing about you. I already loved you. That was a milestone in my personal coming of age and taking upon the responsibility of family. I enjoyed going through all the firsts. The first swimming lessons, the first dance class, the first singing, the first acting, the first... And I grew up with old brothers, and so the early firsts are completely like from another planet. I love that. Those are dear. One of the dearest memories in my life is hearing my little daughter call me the Brazilian equivalent of daddy, which is papai. Sounds like Popeye, but it's papai. It's very endearing. And I want to give my daughter this 3 pieces of advice here. Number 1, respect nature. Nature is a wonderful, beautiful thing, and there's so much to offer us. But also beware of nature. Nature wants to dumb you up. Nature wants you to do what the rest of nature does. Survive, reproduce. And you're going to be flooded with so much tension and passion and urgency that will really detract you from long-term goals that are going to lead to a lot more happiness in your life. Be calm inside. Find that peace. You look around you. Everything that's beautiful around you, you're just one more extension of that same power. Look inside for that calmness to guide your life. And the 3rd piece is find that purpose. Find your thing. Find why you are here, what you were meant to do. And take all your efforts to get your talents, your abilities in place to serve that purpose you're here. I love you very much, and I wish you a happy birthday.